Did you hear? Terence Crawford, he suffered from a shoulder surgery. I don't think he's going to perform to the level of his expectations. Ladies and gentlemen, stop it, man. Look, I've been in boxing for a good period of time to understand what's going on around here, right? Now, of course, Turkey Al-Sheikh did say early this year that Terence Crawford was not going to be able to be back in the ring earlier this year because of a injury that he did say in an interview with DAZN. I think Odi do Oladipo, something like that. So we knew that Terence Crawford has suffered an injury and stuff like that, but we also knew that they truly didn't want to get back in the ring and save themselves for Canelo Alvarez, right? Because of course, the smartest thing to do if you coming from an injury, right, and a rumored surgery, right, and then going up in weight, 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez in the 168-pound division with the layoff, it just makes logical sense that a real team that cares about their fighter will get a tune-up, right? Then go into a dangerous fight with a dangerous fighter like Canelo Alvarez, especially in the 168-pound division, right? Knowing how he did versus Majumov, right? But I know there's people out there that you're not playing dumb in this instance, but you're just misinformed. So let me inform you, because I know things that I know for people is going to get, it's boring. I know that people don't want to hear about the potential performance enhancing and enhancement, right? Because we already know who Terence Crawford is affiliated with. But I understand, give the man a third, second chance and stuff like that. People don't want to get, it's fight week and people don't want to hear about it. But you know what? I'm Punch from Boxing, aka Mr. Moonshine himself. And I gotta keep it real, I gotta keep it honest, and I gotta deliver the goods. I gotta deliver the truth. You already know. I'm aka El Pastor de Boxeo. So, have you heard of Therapeutic Use Exemption? Huh? Have you heard about that? I think y'all heard about it, but y'all forgot about it. Y'all remember when Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao fought? And Floyd Mayweather was due to get some shots, right? Because he filed a therapeutic use of exemption. And you remember when Manny Pacquiao wanted it, but it was too late, and the Mayweather team didn't let him do it, right? Y'all remember that? Okay. Hey, bud, did you and your team file for a therapeutic use exemption?
And they would say I cheated. And they would say I cheated.
Yeah.
And they would say I cheated.
You're right. A therapeutic use exemption is how athletes throughout the year filed so then they could take performance enhancing drug legally. Right? You understand? What is the WADA therapeutic use exception? A tool ensures that athlete can be treated for medical conditions even if the treatment involves using prohibited substance or method while avoiding the risk of being sanctioned. An example of a tool is the World Anti-Doping Agency, like I said, WADA, exception for testosterone replacement therapy. The average for a normal functioning male is a 1.1 ratio. But the WADA allows up to a 4:1 ratio without testing positive for elevated testosterone. These drugs will be normally prohibited because its use would be considered a performance-enhancing drugs. For instance, a tool may be granted as an exception for testosterone replacement therapy. This will require medical examination to determine a legitimate reason for testosterone supplements. The average TE ratio for normal functioning male is a 1:1 ratio by WADA, allows up to a 4:1 ratio without testing positive for elevated testosterone. The ratio would be different for conditions such as, man, I don't know how to say this word. I'm going to sound like Floyd Mayweather in the Breakfast Club. Hypogonadism, which can be monitored by the NADO. For athletes repairing short-term use of testosterone, hypo can be primarily caused by the testes or ovaries, or could be secondary problem with a pituitary or hypothalamus not functioning properly and would be diagnosed by a medical doctor. The testing laboratory will then be informed of the tool for this athlete. Oh, y'all don't understand. So If y'all do your education about other sports, you already know that it was very in baseball. 50 they said that they reported that 50% in baseball and 40% of athletes was filing therapeutic use exemptions, right? And that's the way that they could legally cheat. So let's say somebody popped dirty, but it's not really popping dirty illegally because he already filed that form. And since this is boxing in the Wild Wild West, and we let guys like the former Pablo Escobar of PEDs, the notorious former cheater in Victor Conte, that said in an interview that if it's fair if it's fair for people to question him and be suspicious of him, he said absolutely. But I understand that his link with Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford, who's a 4-division world champion, two division undisputed, is highly respected, highly loved, highly liked, and people don't want to really attach or really ask questions and assumptions. How much you want to bet that nobody's going to be asking Bud Crawford throughout fight week these questions that really are important questions, but of course they're not going to do it. So let Punch Drunk Boxing be the guy, and let Punch Drunk Boxing say the truth or inform the people, and I'm the one that's gonna get blackballed. It is what it is. But anyway, I support the subscribers and the followers and the people in the sport of boxing, and hopefully y'all support me too, right? But anyway, it's easy in the sport of boxing. All you gotta do, right, is create this injury or surgery. Remember, you're going to see your private doctors. Your private doctor is the one that's going to let, when you filing these exemptions, is going to let the WBA, the WBC, because of course you could file it through the WBA, the WBC, and the other sanctioning bodies via VADA. You already know who's affiliated with VADA, right? Don't get mad at me. You know who's affiliated with VADA, who built VADA, who did the protocols for VADA, right? Who helped create the protocols with VADA, right? The same person that said that he could circumvent any testing, right? Don't get mad at me. I'm just giving you the damn facts. But anyway, so this how athletes, especially the Russian Olympic team, was. They said that they was into that. That's the way that athletes in America and around the world, know how to legally use performance-enhancing drugs, PEDs, anabolic steroids, testosterone, HGH, and all that stuff, right? All those tricks, all those you know what I'm talking about, right? And Victor Conte knows everything about that. If you really look at his past interviews, he knows a lot about that because he used that's the way that he passed the cream. You know what Shane Mosley used, right? So do you think that these fighters are doing that today? Do you remember when Gerald Miller, he got popped a lot, right? Gerald Miller was telling Anthony Joshua about remember they was going at it. He said something about the therapeutic use exemption, because he was trying to say that Anthony Joshua is enhanced or something like that, right? How do we know that Terence Crawford, allegedly, because it's rumored they had surgery on his shoulder, they used the shoulder so they could get an exemption and get medicine to have therapeutic for that. You know what I'm saying? How about if he has a therapeutic use exceptions in which he could use certain supplements to the lead up of his fight with Canelo Alvarez? You understand? If you look at the history of certain snack fighters, they had the same shoulder injuries. Yeah. You know, do your homework. I ain't gonna do it for you, because y'all gonna think I'm hating, but do your homework. And then you see your private doctor, you file. What happened to the transparency with the drug testing, man? I thought that they was posting it on Twitter all the time. It seems like they haven't posted any results of late. The question is not whether, because it's irrelevant, because I already know that somebody could circumvent testing. So it don't matter if snack fighters show their testing to the public and it says negative. The question is, what's in the lab work? The question is, Can you show us the exception, the therapeutic use exception file? Or, yeah, the filing, the paperwork of that. And then we know exactly what certain fighters and athletes are really taking. Because if you have a therapeutic use exception, which is the tool, it's never going to come out publicly. Even if you pop, it's not illegal. You still going to fight. You still going to perform. See, when you have the machine and you have the minds around this is the reason why these athletes look superhuman in a short period of time. But I'm just punch drunk boxing. I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, just do your education and you'll find out exactly what I'm saying. It's been going on for decades. But in the sport of boxing is the Wild Wild West. And it's so easy for any of these fighters to take things. Now, I'm not saying that other people don't have mental disorder, because you could have ADHD, what is it? ADHD, right? And still get medical form, and you can have asthma and stuff like that, still have a therapeutic use exception. You can have surgery, injuries, and stuff like that. That's the way these boxers do performance enhancing drugs. Am I saying that am I saying that Terence Crawford? No. All I'm doing is just asking questions and being suspicious, just like Victor Conte wants me to be. Because he said I could. And you could too. I can't wait for the fight September 13th, while Canelo Alvarez will beat the snack out of Terence Crawford. Anyway, he's going to be shout out to Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. Shout out to Ring Magazine, Turkey Out Shake. Shout out to everybody, because, of course, this is just going to have a little black eye. We don't want to talk about this boring stuff. Anyway, stay tuned to the live. It's going to be amazing.